I don't think so, man. I don't see Tampa going if they make the playoffs. If it's still if for me on the playoff picture for them. If they make the playoffs, I don't see them going all the way.
I think the only thing that might prohibit them from going A, health, and B, the running game. Um, Rojo looked pretty good the past couple weeks. He didn't look as strong this week. But yeah, I think staying healthy is a big thing. Dalton's out with injuries. Evans out with injuries. Scotty Miller's been hurt. That's why you're seeing AB coming over. They just got to stay healthy. And if they can stay healthy, get that running game going, give Tom Brady another quote-unquote layer of protection. He's not throwing back the pass. Yeah, I think Tampa Bay can do a little something. But I saw you like Seattle Green Bay. I saw you like both those teams.
We're going to discuss all that and more here tonight on The Huddle. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Didn't even get to cross.
Well, once again, welcome to the Huddle Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Josh Haney, and I bring in the two greatest podcast hosts ever that are with me tonight. I bring in Tommy. What's up, Tommy? How you doing tonight?
What's up, brother? How's it going?
I'm doing good, man. I'm here. I'm ready to talk some football. It was a crazy week. I'm ready to scream and yell a little bit. But we're also going to bring in the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only William H.D. Morgan.
How you doing, guys?
Yeah.
Ready to talk week 7 of the NFL. Let's do this thing, baby. Let's do it.
Already getting comments. Will, you remember mine? We gave him some probably sage fantasy advice back in the beginning of the season.
Oh, yeah.
He says his running back situation did get better. So we're glad that our advice didn't get worse. I haven't even looked to see if I won this past week.
There's a lot of guys out there you might be able to find on the waiver wire. Brian Scott is one dude you might be able to go with from the Eagles. I think I pronounced his first name right. Then you got Le'Veon Bell might be out there. I doubt it, but he might be out there somewhere in free agent land. People might have gave up on him when he got hurt.
Need some fantasy football advice? You should check out Will's segment on the Beyond the
Headlines
with Renee Washington. Yes, every week he does about a minute and a half long segment on fantasy football. I listened to the last 2 weeks; they're really good.
Oh yeah. There's some guys out there you can definitely get.
picked up James White and Josh.
Antonio Gibson picked up James White and Josh Kelly. There you go.
That's not bad. That's pretty good. All right, let's get to it, Tommy. What game are we diving into first?
First game up is the Giants at the Eagles. Eagles squeaked by 22-21. The Eagles get it done. Carson Wentz, 25 for 43, 359 yards and 2 touchdowns. You had Jones with 4 receptions and 92 yards. We all know that we're not going to talk about Daniels too much here. I don't want to embarrass the guy. I don't want to sit here and like bash the guy. It happens to the best of us, I think. But that was, I don't know exactly what happened there, brother. So
no, he's not used to scoring like that. That's what happened. He's not used to scoring like that, and he's not. And everybody keeps saying his speed is like 22 miles per hour. But let's be real. He's running a straight line. He's not cutting. He's not dodging. He's not doing anything like that. Not like a Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray does. So when he runs that straight line, he sees the end zone. Oh my goodness! I'm about to score. Hey, good. Oh.
The minor 69er says Eagles win division 6-9-1.
That's probably right. That's probably right. 6-9-1.
El Presidente. I know we got a comment, I think, from Mr. Matt Slam, but it is not showing over here on mine. But it said it was posted on Brandon's. We have got to get that fixed because I can't see it.
I'm not seeing it either.
And if they do go 6-9-1 and win the division, with the way the playoffs is seeded this year, they get a home playoff game. That's some BS right there. 6-9-1, you get a home playoff.
That puts the Eagles at 2-4-1, and the Giants at 1-6. So they're 0-4 for away games also. Next up, you got the Detroit Lions at the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons lose again. 23-22. Matthew Stafford, 25 for 36, 340 yards and 1 touchdown. Todd Gurley had 23 carries for a whopping 63 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, though.
I did not see this game. What was up with him being at the end zone and, like, they were talking about him not scoring, but he did score. Like, I don't know what's going on.
I think the reason they lost that game is to clock management. Because from what I understand, because I only saw the highlights of that particular game, but from what I understand, they scored with like 30 seconds or something like that left in the game, and Detroit was able to go down and score and win it. So, what I understand, like I said, I only saw highlights. I didn't watch it, but from what I heard, that's the case. And in the NFL, 30 seconds can be a 10.
Oh, it can.
But you did have Kenny Golladay with 6 receptions for 114 yards for Detroit. I say it all the time. It's really a shame to watch Matthew Stafford. He is a very decent quarterback. Just from his talent's just going to waste at Detroit.
Wasted.
The Falcons are kind of in the same boat. They got talent that is just sitting there wasting away. We'll move on to the next game.
Oh, that's what happened. Gurley accidentally scored a TD with like 40 seconds.
That's what it was. Okay.
And gave him too much time on the clock.
Yeah, they scored too quick and left time on the clock. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. Next up, you got the Browns at the Bengals. Browns get it done, 37-34. Browns starting to get a little banged up, ain't they?
Yeah, they lost OBJ for the year.
Lost OBJ for the year. Their quarterback did not look good. They're getting away from the run. I don't know. Like, man, they were looking so good at the beginning of the season, and then they started throwing out everything that was making them look good. And now OBJ, I realize OBJ hadn't been like doing OBJ style numbers, but he's still been a integral part of that team. And
you down OBJ, Austin Hooper dinged up. He doubtful to play this week from what I saw earlier.
Their number one receiver's been out for weeks.
Yeah, I mean, the Browns, man, they hurting. They hurting.
Joe Burrow did throw for 35 for 47, 406 yards with 3 touchdowns.
This is my worry here with Joe Burrow. He is going to be another Andy Dalton who's going to waste his career in Cincinnati. They're never going to get him all the things he needs to be a complete team, to go all the way, and that's going to be it. And now you're going to be a backup to Dak Shepard. And yes, I realize what I said.
Oh my goodness!
And then another thing too, AJ Green's old in the. He can still play. He's still a baller, but he's old in the tooth.
He's not the AJ Green. He's not the AJ Green that flipped the dude 3 years ago.
Nope, he's not. And it's like you got Boyd, Ross, and now that Higgins is taking over the third receiver spot, John Ross wants to trade. They don't have a decent tight end. Tyler Eifert's gone, so I don't know what those guys do. I really don't. I know Joe Mixon was hurt, so I don't know.
Cleveland did try to run the ball a little bit in this game. Hunt had 18 carries for 76 yards.
Yeah, but he can't get started anymore. Like he was scoring me major points in the beginning of the season fantasy, and now he's not doing nothing.
Hunt needs touches. He's like most running back. They need touches to get involved into the game.
But that's why Nick Chubb was good for why Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and Johnson, those three together were a amazing run team.
Yep.
Because Chubb can get it through. He doesn't need touches. He can get you through usually early. You let Chubb get you 6 or 7 yards, then you give it to Nix, and he punches you that other 3. And if he doesn't get that full one, you give it to Johnson, and he gets you that last one.
Right.
And they're a complete run team.
That puts Browns at 5-2. They're 2-2 away. That drops the Bengals down to 1-5-1, and they're 1-2 in away for at home.
Fellas, just think about this for a second. You're 5-2. You're Baker Mayfield. No one likes you. No one wants you on that squad. And you 5-2, bro. What does that say?
That is true. We'll be right back.
So what was the next game there, Mr. Tommy?
The next game up is the Steelers at the Tennessee Titans. Steelers get it done, 27-24. Steelers stay undefeated. They're 6-0, 2-0 at away games. Titans are 5-1 and 3-1 at home. What happened here with the Titans?
First of all, they were sort of kind of down in the first half. They mounted a comeback in the second. AJ Brown got open for a score. If I'm not, his memory is serving me correctly. But at the end of the game, Tennessee had a chance to win it, or a tie. I'm sorry, and the field goal kicker came up short. Look, Gostkowski, his contract's guaranteed. So even if you cut him, he still gets paid. But at the same point in time, he got to go. He got to go. You needed that win. And this is a division game. Although
No, it's not.
that's not my fault. I'm thinking something else. But it's a game that you had to have for the division, can make playoff implications, and he missed it. He got to go, and that's not their first time doing it this year. Go back and look at it again, a couple of games earlier. He's missed some field goals. I think week 2, week 3, he missed some field goals. So yeah, he got to go, man.
Okay, this is what I got to say on that. They're still 5-1, and basically they're a lock. Like, I'm talking a mortal lock, unless they just straight up. Pardon my language, real quick. Hang on. Unless they straight up shit the bed, they are a lock to win the AFC South.
Oh yeah, they are.
The Texans, the Jaguars, we're both shit. Indianapolis, Tennessee is the only good thing in the AFC South right now.
Well, the thing that might keep the Colts alive, Jonathan Taylor's no joke. Phillip Rivers is playing well. That defense is playing really well, but
he's got no targets.
I see what you're saying.
He's got no targets. He's got no one to throw to.
Their best receiver is Zach Pascal. He's all right.
But this is the thing. They have everything you just listed. They have a good defense. They have a good secondary. They have a good offensive line. But they have no offensive production. They have no way to score. None. That's been their problem every time. They've been in low-scoring losses because they can keep the game close, but they have no way of producing scores.
Yeah. And another thing that hurts the Colts too, T.Y. Hilton is not T.Y. Hilton.
But he needs to retire. But so back on a rant.
True.
Because I'm saving my rant time for something later. But to get back on Tennessee, they can take this loss, and they're still going to win the AFC South. Like I said, if they keep playing like they're playing, they're going to probably be something like, I would say I would go 13-5, even 14-4, even something like that.
I think the only games Tennessee would lose is to the upper echelon of the AFC or the upper echelon of the NFL. I think you'll probably lose to a KC. Baltimore would be tough, but it'd be those.
Remember, they gave KC a fight last year for the AFC Championship, and it could easily go the other way. Yeah. And so I could easily see Tennessee. The only team that I could see Tennessee having issue with, the two teams I see them having issue with, are NFC teams that they won't see until the Super Bowl. That's Seattle. That's Green Bay. I had them beating Pittsburgh. And you're right. Gostkowski screwed up. He should have made that kick.
Yeah.
There's no excuse. But let's move on.
You got to go. Oh, real quick, can we take this question in the chat right here?
Oh, yeah.
If Dallas were to trade for a QB, who would you guys say would be?
We all know that they need to look towards Miami.
Yeah.
They got one just sitting in there who's got a hot hand, and he's not going to be used at Miami. So
truly, that'd be their great pick right now. Is to go down there, pick up Fitzpatrick, get him through the year. I'm gonna make a picture that every time, because we bring up this man every week, I'm gonna bring up the picture of the greatest backup quarterback ever, and that is Ryan fucking Fitzpatrick. And he's not even really a backup. He's a guy who has made a career out of just coming in and getting a team through. 9-7, 8-8, something like that.
Yeah, he still could save it.
I think if Tua works out, I think you might see the Dolphins cut bait, because I think the trade deadline is November 3rd, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he only usually ever signs a 1-year contract anyway.
Yeah.
He never signs more than that. And truly, as much as I love Pat, and as much as I love Fitz, I think he's awesome. He's He is one of only 2 or 3 quarterbacks.
Beard, man.
That beard is epic, bro.
Beard is epic, man.
He's one of the few quarterbacks to ever make a career off of basically being traded constantly and going in and being a placeholder quarterback. But someone's got to fucking do it.
Someone got to do it.
And I mean, he's not talented. Like, you look what he was doing in Miami. If he was actually given a good team and given a good shot, probably 3 or 4 years ago, Super Bowl quality quarterback.
You put him on the Dallas Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, Zeke. They got a decent tight end. Offensive line's hurt, but they'll get healthy.
Okay, that scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
It scares me to the point that Fitzpatrick could possibly come in and bring that team to a ring.
I'm not saying a ring, but he'll
playoff potential.
He'll make him up. Yeah,
this is my theory on that. It's also the aura he brings in. He's gonna bring in that we're gonna play our best, no matter what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the absolute best we can.
He gonna win the line.
And then, like you said, those guys that you just listed, Zeke, all those guys, they're gonna feed off of that. And I could see a team like that. It doesn't matter, and it pains me to say it, but it doesn't matter who it is. A team like that could go all the way to the ship.
I think he'll make them respectable. He might turn them around to win that division. I don't know anything past that, but I think he'll make them more respectable.
We'll see. Dallas is going to have to make some moves in the next. Dalton is.
They sound one of us. If they sound one of us, they're better off.
True.
They sound one of us. I mean,
let's go ahead and move it along, guys. Next up, you got the Panthers and the Saints. The Saints get it done, 27-24.
Barely.
Is the Saints starting to find some of their mojo back, or are they still busted in areas that they need to fix?
Well, the secondary is terrible. They need to shore up that secondary, particularly at the safety spot. I don't know what Malcolm Jenkins is thinking. I don't know what Williams is thinking. But the safety spot on the Saints have to rectify that. In terms offensively, I'm very impressed because we didn't have Emmanuel Sanders, we didn't have Michael Thomas, and we still got it done with second and third teamers. So hats off to Drew for getting it done. Jared Cook came up with a big touchdown for us. So hats off to the Saints for getting the job done. But that defense got work because if you go look at that division, Tom Brady is killing it right now. Teddy Bridgewater killed him. I'm not even going to say Matt Ryan won't do it because you got Matt Ryan, Julio, and Calvin Ridley. That defense, particularly in that secondary, has to get better. If they don't, it's going to be hell.
Next, you had Drew Brees, who was 29 for 36, 287 yards, 2 touchdowns. How many more years y'all think Brees has got left in him?
Maybe 2.
I don't even see that.
Maybe I said maybe 2.
I don't even see that.
If he could pull his team together and go all the way to the bowl this year and get it, he'd retire.
The only way I see him playing 2 years, they changed the offense around because right now Drew didn't have the arm strength to hit it long. He don't have the arm strength to hit a receiver in stride down the field.
He hasn't been able to hit that since they were in the Super Bowl 4 years ago. I swear that game, that was probably the greatest performance you've seen from Brees in 4 years.
I think they need to, and I've told Brandon this. The Saints need to play what I call 50-50 ball. They need to run that football, be dominated by the run, hit that play action. That's perfect for Drew. Because
not even 50-50, 60, 40, 70, 30.
40.
Like Brees, I love Drew Brees. He's a Texas boy. He literally went to school not 30 minutes from where I'm living right now.
Wow.
But he just he's obviously his age is getting to him. I know he wants to get one more shot at the bowl, but I'm just not sure his body is going to do it. Like you said, he does not have that long cannon that was Breeze.
He don't have it. He
He
don't have
may
it.
get it once every 3 or 4 games. He get lucky with it, but
Yep.
but
That's
on
why the
that,
offense. That's why Peyton was smart by changing the offense around because now the receivers are running shorter patterns to give him a shot to hit the receivers in stride a little bit better. Um, his accuracy is still there, but it's still also low because he's only hitting about 70% of his passes so far this year, and for Drew, that's low. So they definitely get that defense better, run the football more. You got Kamara, you got Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray used to be a starter back in the day for Minnesota. People forget that. And just run the football down people's throat, run that play action, and they'll be fine. I really think they'll be fine.
on that note, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, Miss Tommy, what's next?
All right, next up, you got the Buffalo Bills at the very, very bad struggling Jets. The Bills barely scraped by in this game. They didn't exactly dominate the struggling Jets. 18-10, the Bills get it done. Puts the Jets at 0-7 and 0-4 at home. The Bills are 5-2 and 3-1 away. Josh Allen was 30 for 43 in this, 307 yards. He also rushed for 11 carries. He had 11 carries for 61 yards. Josh Allen is kind of a beast, man.
So, my opinion with this game is they have the same thing that the Texans used to have back when they were somewhat good. That was
They were somewhat good.
Hey, people tend to forget that we were 13-4 not 2 years ago.
2 years ago. God, that seems like that was like 7 years ago.
No.
That was so many fucks ago from you is what that was.
Dude, that was thousands. Fucks and damns and shits. No, but they play down to their opponents. Yeah. The Bills are a very talented team, but they have these close games, and it was worse for the Texans. They lost to Denver last year that hadn't won a home game at all, lost 35-20. So, but it's the same thing. I see it with the Bills. They tend to play down to their opponents. That's why this game was close in a game that they should have trounced the Jets. The Jets have not won a game yet. They're the only team to not win a game yet. It should have been 50-0. The NFL should have installed a mercy rule for that game.
True.
But they played down to their opponent. They struggled. They showed a lot of weakness. They need to take some get right this week and get back on track.
The thing that gets me with the Bills, I don't understand what they're doing. I've never liked their running back in Devin Singletary. I thought Zach Moss might supersede him this year, but he got hurt. You got John Brown. You got Stephon Diggs. You got receivers that can catch the football. And for some reason, this game, you didn't throw the ball down the field the way you should have to get those receivers some TDs. They're a defensive-minded team. I get that is a really good defense. But, yeah, Josh is right. They really played down to their opponent this week.
Next up, you have a game that would usually get people pumped many years ago. You had the Cowboys at the Washington football team. This is another bad game for Dallas. They lose Andy Dalton, and it looks like the Washington player who it looks like basically the Washington player who targeted who knocked the shit out of Dalton is not even going to get punished from the last thing I seen. So now Dallas is out 2 quarterbacks. They're down to their third string, whoever the hell that is. Who is their third string quarterback? Y'all have no idea. I have no idea either. He didn't do much in this game because he ain't even mentioned here on the stats. So he had Kyle Allen. He was 15 for 25 with a whopping 194 yards for Washington. This is two bad football teams. That puts Dallas at 2-5 and they're 0-3 at home. It puts Washington at 2-5 and they're 2-2 at home.
Before Josh goes, because I know he's chomping at the bit. The one thing I will say about this game, I don't like the way Dallas acted, particularly when Andy Dalton went down. Because the thing that gets me, when your quarterback goes out like that, whoever hit him, you need to hit that guy. And no one hit that guy. And everybody was up there is getting on to me, saying the dude that hit him was walking away. You hit him in the back. You need to do something. And nobody from the Cowboys did that, and that's my concern. Because Dalton, but you're supposed to have the quarterback's back. Go ahead, John.
First. This is some absolute bullshit. This is loaded garbage. First off, what you were talking about, Will. Every one of those Dallas players should be fined for the way they acted after their quarterback went down. I don't even care that you didn't take a shot at the guy and take the flag. Not a player went over to check on him. No one went and tried to help him up. Nothing. Not a thing. I get that he's your backup, that he's not who you wanted, whatever. I don't give a damn. Second, if this were motherfucking Brady, the guy that hit him would not be playing another game this fucking season. And because it is Andy Dalton, who the NFL has never given a shit about, he's not getting... Dude, it is in the NFL rulebook. It is in the NFL rulebook. If a head-to-head is called in the game, it is automatic suspension and fine. What the motherfucker?
It wasn't just head-to-head. He knocked him the fuck out.
It was an intention. It wasn't even it was a head-to-head, yes, but it was intentional. It was 100% intentional. He targeted his head. That dude should not play another down this season, if in the NFL ever again. And he's not getting nothing. Fuck Roger Goodell. Fuck the NFL. Fuck them. This is bullshit.
This is why why everybody's waiting on the XFL. It's just because of shit like this.
It is. It really is. We go back 6 months when that was what we were loving about it, is that they could still hit. It was in the rule books, the way they had worked out the ways to make the hitting as safe as it can be for football. Even in the kickoffs, they had brought back excitement to kickoffs because there was actual chances that a guy was going to score a kickoff return. And
we ain't got all night. We got all night. Next up,
you got to move me on.
Next up, because he probably ain't done fucking ranting. So next up, we got the Packers versus the Texans.
I've been waiting that all week.
As usual, Brett Favre makes Texans call him daddy. The 35-20.
You went back 20 years.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Let's see. Packers are 5-1 now. They're 3-1 away. That drops the Texans down to 1-6, 1-3 at home.
There actually is no rant here. I had no doubt in my mind who was going to win this game. Like, if my Texans came and beat Aaron Rodgers after he just took a Brady stomping, I would have been jaw dropped.
Did you say there's not a rant?
No rant.
There's
Real men of genius.
Real man of genius.
Man, that's probably smartest thing you've said in a while, Josh, because it ain't going to do you no good to rant. In this game, though, Deshaun Washington was 29 for 39, 309 yards and 2 touchdowns. No, that's going
to. Man.
I tell you what, though, Will, Miami, you know what they're doing right now? They're grooming Tua. They're grooming him, and they're sitting down there after they watch him, and if he wins or loses, and then they're just sitting there watching the Texans. Motherfuckers keep losing. Give us that first round pick overall. Come on. I'm telling you, bro. Because if I were Miami, that's what I'd be doing. I'd be watching this team bomb, knowing that whatever their first and second round pick is, I get it.
Yep.
You also had Adams in that game who had 13 receptions for 196 yards with 2 touchdowns. That kid is fucking.
Welcome back, Devontae Adams. Welcome back.
Yeah. Next up, you got the Buccaneers at the Raiders. Oh, man. Fucking Tom Brady. Right when you think he is done, dude. I swear, man. Right when you think his ass is done, they lay a slacking on the Raiders. 45-20. Tom Brady was 33 for 45, 369 yards and 4 touchdowns.
God. Wait, 23 for 45, is that what you said?
Yep, 33 for 45, 369, 4 touchdowns. Like Brady is like woke up and down in Tampa Bay, dude. It is looking ugly. He's starting to look scary. That puts Tampa Bay at 5-2. They're 2-2 away. Raiders dropped to 3-3. They're 1-2 at home.
But who have they played other than Green Bay?
Saints, Chargers, Green Bay, the Bears. They lost to the Bears. Man, I can't think of it.
Nobody you've listed other than Green Bay should have been a loss for them. Nobody.
But still, he's a quarterback in a new system still, though.
He's still learning.
Yeah, I mean.
Still learning it. And making so bad, Bruce Arians, this is his system, but I believe he was with the Steelers with. So all of a sudden, here comes Antonio Brown. Here comes Superman, Antonio Brown. He's going to know BA system better than Tom Brady, and that's going to be huge help. And it's just going to give Brady one more weapon.
Yeah, it is. Let's take a break real quick before we get into this next game. Yeah, that happened, and of course, if anybody would have been paying attention at the very first of the clip, where dumbass over here pressed the wrong button,
He did it.
because he wouldn't been selecting the right damn commercial. He was playing the one we done played with. Next up,
It was his
you had the Kansas City. You had the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Broncos, struggling Bronco team. They didn't look very struggling there in the first half, but the Chiefs get it done, 43-16. Not because of Patrick Mahomes. Let's make that very, very clear. It had nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes. Bell looked awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He looked regenerated. He looked awesome. He looked like he was having fun playing. This all lies on bad offense by the Broncos and great defense by the Chiefs. This is basically how this game played out because Drew Lock threw 2 interceptions in this game, not to mention other mishaps that happened. He was 24 for 40.
Jesus.
So they definitely basically handed the gift package this win for the Chiefs and handed it to them. But Patrick Mahomes didn't do much.
I am wondering if he was injured.
I don't think he's injured. I just think I don't know, man. There's something up. I mean, it's still there. He still marched down the field, but he was shitty in the red zone in this game. He never could. They would march down the field, but when it come to actually scoring, he was having trouble.
I also think it's a change of philosophy somewhat because now you're seeing the Chiefs run the ball more this year than they did last year and in the past too.
Especially now that you got Bell, they're going to run it way more than they were.
Dude, Bell looked great, dude. There's a bunch of runs he had that was breakout runs. You know, he looked really good. So,
and they have 3 good backs now with CEH, Bell, and Darrell Williams. Okay,
and they did it, and you know, Andy's doing exactly what we thought he would do. He's using Evan Bell for a little trickery. Just his presence being on the field.
Yep.
He's making people think he's going to him, and he's not. And you know, just Bell being on there, it's going to make the defense have to look over and look at him and see what he's up to. Because
you got to pick your poison now. You're going to play coverage. Are you going to play coverage, or are you going to play more of a front 7 to stop the run that they are now using? So now the running game is in place. The defense is playing well in terms of taking the ball away. That Chiefs team is going to be hard, man. It's going to be a hard team to get.
One of the Chiefs' touchdowns also came from a kickoff return. So,
yep.
Like I said, Patrick Mahomes struggled in that game. Next up, you had the 49ers and the Patriots.
Huh.
Man, this was ugly. This was ugly for Cam Newton. Cam gets benched in this game. 33-6 by the 49ers whipped the shit out of the Patriots in this game. Like I said, Statham ended up coming in for Cam Newton.
He got benched?
He got benched.
I think the thing with Cam, and I'm not trying to make excuses for him. He played a bad game. But he still looks to me, he's showing signs of recovering for COVID-19. And he's not the same energetic person he was when he started the season. You can see it. And I think he's still trying to recover from that. But again, you put Cam in a terrible position. They have no receivers. Your running game is suspect at best.
Right.
You go in there against a 49ers defense that while it's hurt, they're still formidable. And that's just a bad mix. Just a bad mix. Hopefully Cam can come back better, but that trade deadline is looming, so they're gonna have to do something to get better. Give Cam some more weapons in the passing game.
Jimmy was 20 for 25 in this one, 277 yards and 2 interceptions. Jeff Wilson Jr. had 17 carries and 112 yards and 3 touchdowns for San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, you had the Jaguars versus the Chargers. That rookie quarterback down there just keeps looking good. His completion rate wasn't very good, but the Chargers get it done, 39-29 over the Jaguars. Justin was 27 for 43 with 347 yards with 3 touchdowns. He's definitely getting better.
Real deal.
They're going to be a force to reckon with. They get a couple more tools here and there. The Chargers are going to be dangerous, man.
And I think the thing that helps him out too, he's playing with a veteran receiver, Keenan Allen.
Wilson.
The thing helps him out.
We'll see about that because they're one of those like the Bengals. I always felt that they had the potential with Phillip Rivers and they could never get right.
Right.
Like they always had something that they were lacking. Never could get the team to full force to. Because I felt Phillip Rivers was an elite level quarterback.
Yeah, as Will said, Allen, they got Allen too. He had 10 receptions for 125 yards. Next up, some was calling this the game of the week. You had the Seattle Seahawks versus the Cardinals. Shocker, ladies and gentlemen, the Cardinals win 37-34 over the Seahawks. Russell Wilson. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm still trying to figure out that interception he threw near the goal line. That Buda Baker, I think it was Buda Baker caught that, almost took it to the house and went for DK Metcalf running him down. I still don't understand what he was looking at. I don't get it.
Russell Wilson knows all about those interceptions at the goal line.
He does. And shout out.
I'm sorry, Seahawks fans. You know,
and
I don't want to hear about that.
And shout out to Kyler Murray because Kyler Murray, he balled in this game. Oh my goodness, he balled out. If he ain't an MVP candidate, I don't know who he is.
I'm glad I took him on my fantasy team.
Me too.
I actually took Texans quarterback out because he was doing too hot there at first and replaced him with Kyle.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson was 33 for 50 in this game. 388 yards with 3 touchdowns.
Yikes.
It's just that one interception. And like I said, I don't know what he was looking at. I really don't. But he had a good game, too.
You had Taylor Lockett in this with 15 receptions for 200 yards, though. 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. He's an underachiever. He started returning kicks when he started in his career. And if you look at him now, top 20 wide receiver.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, you have the Monday night game. This will be the last game of the week. You have the Chicago Bears versus the Los Angeles Rams. It's puts the Bears at 5-2, 3-1 away. The Bears dropped this game to the Rams, who are now 5-2, 3-0 at home. Nick Foles was 28 for 40, 261 yards in this game with 2 interceptions. Allen Robinson, 4 receptions for 70 yards. So, what does can the Bears or the Bears are going to probably end up limping into the playoffs? I think. You think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rams will probably end up being there too. So,
and were you offensively as challenged as the Bears? I mean, what? Allen Robinson, Jimmy Graham are your really 2 only weapons. I've never lacked David Montgomery as a running back. Cordell Patterson, I know he might get in there from time to time, but with Tariq Cohen being out for the year. But I'm sorry. I don't see if the Bears get in it, and they probably will, because the NFC East is so pathetic. If they do get in, that's a first round out. I don't see them advancing any further. And then Nick Foles, man.
I don't know. Nick Foles, I feel like Nick Foles is he's a great quarterback, but he has those games, and he had one yesterday, 2 interceptions. He has those games where he just can't get right.
Yeah.
But on that note, we're going to take our last commercial break and come back with the power rankings and this weekend in football history. We'll be right back.
Here we go.
And now it's time for All right, Mr. Tommy. So what did the rankings change? Are they the same? Are the damn Patriots still on the list?
Let's see, Ash. I believe no, they're not. I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out. Number 10 comes in at the New Orleans Saints.
Ooh. You getting close to that to being off that list there, Will?
Coming off a bye, man. Coming off a bye.
Very, very true. Number 9, or I'm sorry, was that number 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, here we are. Number 9. Previous was number 8. They were number 8 last week. Los Angeles Rams at 4-2. They dropped down a spot. Oh my goodness, sorry guys, my mouse is acting like totally nuts. This is not the. I really need to switch my mouses out. Actually, to answer your question, the New England Patriots are ranked number 12.
I quit.
Number 8 comes in at the Buffalo Bills. They dropped down a spot. They were previously number 7. Green Bay Packers. They dropped 6 spots in the power rankings. How is that even possible?
Losing to Brady.
Yeah, I guess so. Next up, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They were previously ranked number 12. They move up to 6. Next up, you got the Seattle Seahawks. Next up is the Baltimore Ravens coming in at number 4. They dropped down a spot.
No one will ever stand the hatred and the passion of which my fire of hatred burns for Tom Brady.
Two
I
people
cannot stand the man. I fully 100% believe he is a cheater, and fuck him.
Two people that just can't stand, Tom Brady and Bill O'Brien.
Oh, and they're both from the fucking Patriots.
Oh, my goodness. You made me lose focus. Shut up, Josh. Next up, you got the Seattle Seahawks, who at number 5. Number 4, rolling in at number 4 is the Baltimore Ravens.
Off a bye?
Yeah.
They're
Power's
undefeated.
funny.
That's true.
No, they're not. They lost one. They're 5-1. Tennessee Titans are number 3. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are number 2.
How?
Kansas City is number 1. Hey, don't ask me, man.
Look, to me,
I've looked at different power rankings. This is actually through CBS. I've looked at ESPN's too, and they're just as weird.
They're all weird.
The power rankings in ESPN are just as weird, dude. And they're always like a week behind. It's implied.
To me, if you look at Pittsburgh, they might be the most complete team in the NFL.
They
might be.
Their defense looked dangerous, man.
Dude, their defense resembles old school Steel Curtain defense. Like, you could rename that defense of the new Steel Curtain New Era. Like, they are just a brick fucking wall.
I'm telling you, man. And it's a tough matchup. Those receivers, Deontay Johnson, Chris Claypool, Juju Smith-Schuster, they're hard to match up with. And that defense with T.J. Watt and Micah Fitzpatrick, man, I'm telling you, don't sleep on them, boys.
Well, that actually brings us in to our next thing.
Yes, I get you crunk every time.
It is the time.
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
It is time for the Huddle MVP of the week. We each pick a guy to call our MVP. Mr. William H.D. Morgan, who's your guy this week?
Kyler Murray.
Tommy?
Kansas City defense.
I also got to go with Kyle Murray. I mean, it was just a dominating game.
I guess one could make the argument though that Tom Brady might need to be mentioned in that, but
I gave Tom my only pick last week. That's the only time I will ever pick Tom Brady for Player of the Week. It's done. It's back.
Okay, I don't
Let
want.
me get to it with Kyler, though. A lot of people were saying he wasn't going to pan out. Look at him now.
But get him now. Well, you know, Patrick Mahomes wasn't a big pick coming out of college either. So
That's true too. That's true too. Look
You
at
know,
what-
we never gave our salute to our missing host tonight, so we salute you.
Real men of genius. Real men of genius.
Oh, Brandon.
maybe someday in the future he'll get his lazy ass back to work.
No. Get to it, CBO. But our last segment of the night. I feel so proper when that music plays.
Yes.
Without history, it's just uncivilized.
All right. So there's actually quite a bit of news today in NFL history, and some of it is frustrating as fuck for me. So today in NFL history, 1995, the contract that finalized the Cleveland Browns' move to Baltimore was signed in secret. 96, Bud Adams, owner of the Houston Oilers, announced that he would allow his team to play one final season in Houston before moving the team to Tennessee. That season sucked balls. In 96, also, Irving Fryar became the 15th player in NFL history to catch 600 passes in a career. And in 2002, Emmitt Smith became all-time leading rusher in the NFL when he extended his career yardage to 16,743. He achieved the record in his 193rd game. He also scored his 150th career touchdown.
And see, that's the thing that makes me mad with Barry Sanders, because Barry Sanders retired without getting the record. Barry, get the record, man.
Yeah,
And then roll. Get the record and then roll.
yeah, for real. Poor Barry.
So that is today in NFL history. Also, the Monday Night Football game between San Diego Chargers and Miami Dolphins was played in Tempe, Arizona. The game had to be moved from San Diego due to wildfires.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Okay.
I do remember that game.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Hey, a little bit of random just sports trivia there for you, Will. Barry Bonds' 700 home run ball was sold at auction today in 2004 for $804,129.
Look, y'all can tell me steroids all day long, but before he got that big, he was successful, still playing well at a high level. And here's the thing that makes him a G to me. Anytime you ask him about the steroid era, he just hit another home run and just go about his business, running the bases, bam, no comment, and go about his business. I'm telling you, that man was a G for that. He was a G for that.
Well, this is the time of the show where we shamelessly plug everything that we're doing here at Pinball and everything that we're doing outside of Pinball. So, Mr. Will, tell them what you got going on there, sir.
Well, tomorrow night we have the Paradigm Shift Wrestling Podcast. You'll see me with these two fine gentlemen up top here. 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. your time, Josh. Then you'll also find me on the Geek Gauntlet Podcast right here on Pinfall Productions and on geeknewsnow.net on YouTube. And then I'll be on Twitch under GNN Gaming. No idea what I'm playing yet, but hey, it's something.
Tommy.
Let's see. Thursday, you got Total Nonstop Podcast. We're probably going to cover SmackDown this week because we've not done a SmackDown segment. So, and I know that tomorrow on the Pinfall we're going to cover Hell in the Cell. So there's no sense in covering it 2 nights in a row. So.
Hell in the Cell and Bound for Glory are our topics tomorrow since they were both this weekend. I'm excited to talk about it. Ken Shamrock was decked into Impact's Hall of Fame. I think that's awesome. I love Ken Shamrock as a wrestler. I know not everybody agrees with that. I think he was a badass wrestler.
I think WWE should have brought him back years ago and let him do it. and let him do something. He deserved it because he didn't leave on bad terms. That was like the thing that people don't understand. Like he never like really did anything bad or anything. He never got in major trouble. Or he always showed up and he always worked and he was always a professional. So I don't get like what the even Ken says. Even Ken's like I don't know what the big deal is.
Right.
They should they should have put it. He should be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
I think my highlight was Jordan Grace winning the X Division title. That was my best highlight from
We all know what you liked about that. But we appreciate y'all joining us for another episode. Join us next week as we go into week 8. It is coming to the end of the season. We are already reaching that hump, boys. Like, it's almost over. Be thinking about those playoff picks. Fantasy will be coming to end in just 5 short weeks.
Yes.
And so I actually looked. I won in one of my leagues, and then I got trounced in another league. In your league, Will,
I won one and one and lost the other.
Yeah, in your league, Will, I got whooped. In my family league that you're in with me, I dominated. I'm number 2 right now in that league. I never do that fucking well. But we appreciate y'all joining us, guys. Thank y'all, and please tune in tomorrow night for the Paradigm Shift. Stay tuned to Pinfall Productions for all of our shows. And real quick before we head out, here's the lineup of all of our shows. Monday through Friday. Catch us on Pinfall Productions, YouTube, Facebook, on Total Nonstop Collection, Total Nonstop NCAA. You can find us there on Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating. And we love you guys. Y'all have a good night.
Later.